Tú nos dices, ¿ya o no?
Yeah.
We are the team number 1 of the group 215. Will we present the topic of the neuron with a 3D model? In this video, me, David, and Renata will explain the topic because Daniela and Luis Mauricio made the 3D model. So let's start.
This is our Neuron 3D model. On the next slides, we will explain the parts of it. First, we have the cell body, also known as the soma. It is a neuron's core. It contains the nucleus. It is enclosed by a membrane that protects it and allows interaction between the interior and exterior. Its main function is to carry genetic information and make the neurons work in the correct and well-structured form, as well as providing energy for realization of different activities. Then we have the dendrite, which has the shape and is spread like three branches, as we can see on the image. It is the place where a neuron receives input from other cells through axonal contact. They convert the chemical signs received from the axon into small electric impulse, transmitting them inward as information that will go in the direction of the cell body. Then we have the nucleus. All neurons contain a nucleus. It is surrounded by a double membrane called nuclear envelope. Inside of the nucleus, there are chromosomes and nucleus, which are necessary for the code production of proteins inside the cell. So we can say that the nucleus is where the synthesis of virtually all neuronal proteins and membranes occur. Then we have the axon. Every neuron must have an axon, which is a round-shaped component. Its main function is to conduct a particular type of electric impulse away from the neural cellular body called an action potential. In simple words, it carries the information from the soma to other cells.
Now we have the myelin. Myelin is a fatty material that wraps around nerve cell projections. The main function is to protect and insulate these axons and enhance the transmission of electrical impulses. If myelin is damaged, the transmission of these impulses is slowed down, which is seen in severe neurological conditions such as multiple sclerosis. Then we have the Ranvier's node. Ranvier nodes are small openings that are interspersed between the myelin sheaths that cover the neuronal axons. They allow contact between the axon and the extracellular space, and with this make possible the entry of sodium and potassium electrolytes and other chemical elements. Then we have the Schwann cell. It is a type of glial cell that surrounds the neuron. It supports the physical location of the nerve and protects it from any outside damage. And they also supply the underlying nerve cell with oxygen and nutrients. Finally, we have the axon terminal, as seen in the picture in the right. It is found on the end of the nerve cell in the body, known as a neuron, and its primary function is to conduct electrical signals from that neuron to receptor sites, known as dendrites, on other neuron surfaces.
So that was the structure of the neuron, but we will see now what are the synapses. At the microscopic level, one of the most evident characteristics of nervous tissue is that its structure resembles a complex interconnected network of cells, neurons, which is one of the keys to its functioning. Through this specialized communication called synapses, the intercellular signals that produce all the functions of the nervous system are originated and transmitted. Synapses are especially sites that mediate communication between neurons, and there are two main types. The first type is chemical synapses, in which, as the name implies, the interaction between the neurons is mediated by chemical substances, a neurotransmitter, that is released by a neuron, presynaptic and is captured by a different one, postsynaptic. This capture of the neurotransmitter is carried out through proteins located in the plasma membrane of the neurons called receptors, which specifically recognize each neurotransmitter. Neurotransmitters, the different, well, now what is a neurotransmitter? A neurotransmitter is the different chemical substance that enable interneuronal communication in chemical synapses are generally neurotransmitters. Now the second type is electrical synapses, in which there is no chemical mediator, but a direct communication channel or pore between the cells, which causes the change in a neuron to be transmitted directly to the adjacent neuron, behaving like a single neuron. This type of synapses is rare in mammals and is found mainly in the places where the rhythmic or highly coordinated activity of some neuronal groups is necessary. For example, in the hypothalamus, thalamus, retina, among others. Now we will see the 3D model of the chemical synapses. This is our 3D model. This is all the parts of the synapses. So let's pass to the next one, that is the electric synapses. Well, this is the end of our presentation about the 3D models. We expect you enjoyed. If you have any doubt about the information, you can go to those references. Thank you very much. We expect you enjoyed.